So the rumor mill's heating up again, and there's more speculation now about Freddie Freeman and how the Yankees are going to aggressively pursue him once the lockout's over. Okay, so here's my thoughts behind it. Freddie Freeman's obviously one of the best first basemen, if not the best in baseball. He's 32 years old. He's a superstar. He's an elite hitter. He's an elite glove. He's a great teammate. He's a leader. He's got everything you need, for a first baseman. And he's a left-handed hitting first baseman, so he's suited for Yankee Stadium short porch and right field. And even hitting opposite field, he's suited for pretty much everywhere. So I totally understand where he's come from. Plus, he has already turned down a contract from the Atlanta Braves, and it was either 5 years, 150 million, or 6 years, 180 million. But at the very least, so you're not going to get him for under 6 years, right? So I get it. They want to bring it. The Yankees want to win now, but here's the other fact: just Freddie Freeman alone is not going to do it. Not going to put the Yankees over the top. Just like Carlos Correa is not going to put them over the top. Just like trading somebody is not going to put them over the top. They are several pieces away from being a World Series contender. That's the facts, the bottom line. So, so I understand the appeal of Freddie Freeman, but and I've said this before. My first choice for first base is a trade for Matt Olson, and and here's a couple reasons why. He does the same things that Freddie Freeman does: an offensive hitter, both sides of the field, an offensive glove. Okay, he also has two more years of team control before he hits free, 2 more arbitration years before he hits free agency. And a couple things to keep in mind: the Yankees' payroll is going down significantly over the next 4 to 5 seasons by over $100 million coming off the books. And just this coming after 2022, you've got Chapman, you've got Britt, and some other guys. So upwards of almost $40 million coming off the books already. And if the luxury tax threshold levels increase, there's less likely the Yankees are going to have to pay penalties or as much penalties as they would before if they decide to spend. Now, Matt Olson, to me, is a first baseman from the A's, obviously, and the Yankees have an opportunity to trade for him. And yes, there's been speculation recently about them not wanting to move some of their top prospects. I think they can get a trade for Olson without using Volpe. But Oswald Peraza, yes, he's the number 2 prospect, but he's the type of guy you trade for a superstar like Matt Olson. And again, they have such a deep pipeline of shortstop prospects. You can't play all of them at the same time. And if people want to keep Gio, where are you going to play these other guys? So once Volpe's ready, you could essentially have Volpe and Trey Sweeney come over the next couple of years, or Oswaldo Cabrera. You have other guys too. Oswald Peraza, obviously, if there's any way they can swing a deal for Olson and not have to give up one of their shortstop prospects, I find it highly unlikely, but that's a stroke of genius by Brian Cashman. But I'll reserve comment on that one until we actually see, if this actually happens. And again, this presents an opportunity for them to get a pitcher back as well, because the Yankees have multiple holes they need to fill. Okay, yes, they have in-house options that are close in shortstop, but they don't have an option at first base with after Luke Voigt. Okay, they could bring in Anthony Rizzo and bring him back in free agency. He won't be as expensive as Freddie Freeman, but he's also not at Freddie Freeman's level anymore either. So that's something to be said. And again, Matt Olson, and here's my logic too. Let's say they sign Matt Olson, or they trade for him, and then they give him a 5-year extension for whatever, $150 million, right? $30 million per year. That's 7 years, his contract. At the end of the 7-year contract, he'll be 34. At the end of a 6-year contract for Freeman, he's going to be almost 39. That's a huge difference, a 5-year difference in age. So do you want to spend a boatload of money for a guy who's going to be, entering his decline years and leaving his prime years potentially over the next year or two, or trade capital for somebody who's entering his prime? Matt Olson. So that's my logic too. Like, look at over the next 5 years or whatnot, what the Yankees not only have coming off the books, but guys they potentially have coming up, some more pitchers and some other prospects and whatnot, and payroll flexibility. So, and this is a robust free agent class. So, but at the end of the day, just signing Freddie Freeman is not enough. They're going to have to do something at shortstop. They have to bring in another pitcher at the very least with Freddie Freeman. So, I see the appeal in bringing in the Freeman, but I just don't see the logic if the Yankees are not going to go all the way and spend the way that they should spend. You know what I mean? So, Olson, again, they have an opportunity to bring in one of those ace starting pitchers. The Yankees would have to obviously fork up quite a bit of capital. I get it, but that's the type of trade you make. Blockbuster trades. Just like if somebody wants Aaron Judge, they're going to have to pay a haul. That's just the way that it goes. So, my personal choice is Matt Olson. Those are my reasons why. Now, do I like Freddie Freeman? Yeah. Would I be upset if they signed him? No. But I would be upset if they signed him and could have gotten Matt Olson. Trey, because again, I'm looking for, 5 years in a row. The Yankees want to be in a position again where they have to bring in somebody to replace Freddie Freeman halfway through his contract. There's no guarantee he's going to age well. There's none. It's just, it'd be nice if he did. Yeah, sure, but to me, he's a better fit either in Atlanta or even in the Dodgers or something like that. If he came to the Yankees and played great, I'd be totally happy with it. But at the end of the day, the Yankees are several moves away. And, I think Matt Olson represents a better fit for this team. And, they would use some of their robust pipeline. But then again, look at the Marlins. If they want some big offensive pieces and trades, they have to use some of their pitching surplus. It's the only way they're going to get it, unless they do it in free agency. That's the way it is. If it's stuff like that. So the Yankees, and they've been doing a great job at building a big pipeline at shortstop and slightly behind that in center field. Personally, I think they should do it at catcher as well. I've been saying that for a year now. But this is an opportunity, and I get they can bring him in for agency. Won't cost anything except for what it might cost because he did get a qualifying offer. Keep that in mind. They'll have to forfeit some international spending. So if Brandon Maillet is their number one target next year, who's the number one international free agent projected right now, signing a guy attached to a QO might limit or hurt their ability to do that. Trading for an Olsen would not. That's another piece here. So, I think there's pros and cons to both sides, but to me, Matt Olson's the guy to get for first base. But there is a lot of speculation right now saying they're going to be going after Freddie Freeman. John Heyman's reporting it's all over the place. So you guys let me know what you think. Would you choose Freeman and why? Would you choose Olsen and why? Would you choose somebody else? Well, I know they have Luke Voigt and he looks healthy, but they did try to move him at the deadline, so he's clearly not the future answer for them. So let's get into this, guys, and we'll talk more about it tonight. Over and out.